Okay.
Just starting live.
Starting live.
But not live. You don't know. You never know.
Yeah, because it'll go away. Hi, we're at ECSports. Do you want to... I'm tagged, stupid. Facebook again. All right, what we got today?
Today we have the Ball situation, the Ball family situation, shoplifting as well as NBA struggles. Mm-hmm. Also breaking down Colin Kaepernick, the Citizen of the Year, as well as the LeBron-Cantor feud. And then we are going to follow up briefly towards the end.
I didn't know we can do that.
On woman in the locker room, which is
women.
I have so much to say.
It was your first time seeing it because you didn't understand where I was coming from.
I really didn't.
Saw it.
I had been in there before and not really acknowledged it.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with the first one as we fucking drink coffee.
The Ball topic, shoplifting and NBA struggles. What do you think about this?
So, they're in China, right?
Correct.
Mind you, this dude's fucking brother, who absolutely sucks, by the way, plays for the Los Angeles Lakers.
He has
a rookie contract. So he decides to go and fucking rob a Chinese mall for some fucking sunglasses. The story alone should make you say, what the fuck is wrong with them? And then their interviews, how they talk, you can tell they weren't really trained to be a millionaire.
Right.
So, my whole thing is that's stupid as fuck, first and foremost, because you're in a totally different country. And then I guess the mall was like next door to their hotel.
It's connected.
Yeah, it's connected to the hotel. And then they go to the most expensive place in there and try to...
Because they don't have cameras at Louis.
Yeah. Did you, this is just a little side note, did you know we can like literally bring people on as guests on the camera?
No, but I like that feature.
That's dope. So
we might have to start doing that.
Yeah. Instead of like bringing them in, you just have them.
Oh, I see that. Is watching, but bring them on camera. Ad.
Yeah.
We're gonna start. We might have to start doing that. We're gonna put some serious people on the spot.
That's dope.
Nico.
Oh, you had a question? Boom. But yeah. So anyway, like, it's just a situation where I think their dad, who, as we've said on numerous occasions, is a complete idiot, the stuff that he talked so much about, he's making his fucking kid like take the brunt of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or kids.
Right.
So.
And then what's crazy about it? It's obviously wrongdoing.
Yeah.
But then, as it goes back to what you said about the improper training as far as camera and media and things of that nature, is that they ask this guy, they say, what do you feel about this situation? Instead of saying, my son was wrong.
Oh, the father.
I reached out to him. I tried to address the issue. He says, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Then, it's not a big deal to steal. It is not a big deal to steal.
That's what his father said.
That's what you said.
That's a great fucking...
That's what you said.
That's a great role model, right?
Son, you want to go in, Louis? You want to steal some shades? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. That's our 2017 parenting lesson right there.
Yeah.
And then we have your role model brother.
Who's in the NBA?
They ask him, did you talk to your... No, I haven't talked to my family in 3-4 days. Oh, really? You didn't think maybe to call your parents while your brother's he's on lockdown in China?
His team left for the fucking States.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Bro,
he's in a 5-star.
Left. They put them in a hotel until Donnie Boy Trump had to call the.
Donnie came
person.
in. He brought the comb over to China.
I mean, that's crazy, bro.
Came marching in.
People don't realize, like, we're talking about China. We're not talking about, like, oh, it's America. They go to jail. They get bailed out. No, China doesn't bullshit with their stuff. They want you to, you want to fuck with us? Okay. Let's put you in a freaking
the best
camp.
is he tweets, not even a thank you. I mean, I thought it was great because it's probably a situation that nobody wants anybody to know that, hey, The president was, we got lucky. He was there for the weekend, and he threw in a good word. But no.
Yeah, simple things. But
no one says a word, so he says it himself. Yeah. Of course, why not? It's what he does best.
Regardless of how you feel about the guy, he didn't have to do that.
Right. He didn't have to do that.
So, but these guys, I mean, it's all about the dad. If the end all be all, it's all about what the father said and what he does, and people can't stand this motherfucker.
Right.
I can't bring anybody on that says, yeah, you know what, LeVar Ball is a good guy.
Right.
Nobody likes that motherfucker.
Right.
So, I mean, then this is the quote-unquote worst ball anyway. So, they're suspended indefinitely. He apologized in so many words about what he did.
Right.
And I just think it's just a big-ass story because of that. And now, his brother, we have his struggles. I personally think his brother, as we watch him right now, he plays lazy as fuck, man. And then his shot sucks. The fucking guy that got drafted after him is actually playing better. He just out on the court lackadaisical.
This guy says, I love LeVar Ball. Give us your thought process.
Yeah, maybe we'll push ad and bring you on for that.
I'd like to hear why you love LeVar Ball, please. Yeah, enlighten me.
Look, I mean, Lonzo just... To say that this guy's the future of the Lakers is disgusting.
Kuzma's better. So he gives back to all the kids in the community. Okay, so, for you, I'm glad you brought up this point. His father gives back to the community, and he is a wonderful role model. So all the kids in the community should listen to him on television when he says, it's not a big deal that my son just stole shit from Louis Vuitton. It's not a big deal. If that's the kind of lessons you're bringing to the community into the camp, then don't be in the camp. Don't join the community.
Yeah.
I don't want my son going to camp and somebody telling him it's good to steal. You can't steal. Period. I'm getting upset about this.
No, you're right. So,
because it always reverts back to, what are they doing for the inner city?
Come on, man.
You could do one thing for the inner city with your money and all your other bullshit, but then you can, your actions, they come out.
Yeah.
You say dumb shit, you do dumb shit, the kids you raise do dumb shit, and that's it. Did he say it's okay to steal? Well, he shined light on the fact and said that it's okay.
He said it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Saying it's not a big deal is literally sweeping it under the rug. Like, it ain't shit.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out, quick, fino alla fine, until the end for Gigi Buffon and the rest of Team Italy. Just had to throw that in there for my boy. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, basically he said it's okay to steal. Okay? And it's not.
Yeah.
And it is a big deal. It is a big deal that you're on lockdown in China, that you're supposed to be a role model.
And your team left you, and you're there by yourself, and the fucking president...
Now you're suspended indefinitely. And you know what? I love it.
And you're not good, apparently, because I'm not interested in seeing what he can do. But Lonzo is just... When you hype someone up, especially nowadays, you have to fucking show and prove. And his dad, screwed him over. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, right now...
It's ridiculous.
It's terrible. So, that's what he chose to do, and that's what his dad is doing for him. So, what we got next? I'm tired of talking about the motherfuckers.
This should be a good one. I hope you're all interactive as well on this one. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of thoughts. Colin Kaepernick is, by GQ, named the Citizen of the Year. Citizen of the Year. Citizen.
And the small print was due to his activism.
Correct. What's your thoughts? And then I will elaborate. I did post a very strenuous, long Facebook post tonight regarding this matter because I am upset about it. And because I did want to speak about it later, in which we will get to that. But I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah. So, basically, the main focus of Colin Kaepernick is what's going on now. Everybody wants to kneel. Everybody wants to salute. Everybody has some semblance of a conversation in reference to it. But if you noticed, he hasn't even stepped up to, reiterate what his stance was. And now, like we've said on numerous other shows, the stance has turned into a freaking.
There's a million stances.
Yeah, it's a joke. So, you got guys saying, "Oh, I do it for this." You got guys saying, "I do it for that." Now it's just like, what are you kneeling for now? Pretty soon we're gonna have fucking youth football kids doing it. And that's the messed up part. He can't get a job because we've said this in numerous episodes. No team, whether they're good, bad, or suck, wants that type of media attention.
Right. I mean, if I'm a coach, we got all my players, we got my team going, and then we got 9,000 media members surrounded against the second string quarterback.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Think about it.
Guess what? If you're playing with a second string these days, you're not winning anyways, pretty much. So I'll put a different second string out there instead of the original second string, who doesn't have 9,000 guys surrounding him rather than the rest of the team and what the team is doing either successfully or unsuccessfully. I don't need to see this guy 100 times on television.
Even if he went to a Canadian Football League, bro.
Yeah, then that would get public.
It's the same.
The Canadian League would probably definitely sign him because they're waiting so bad for viewers.
Yeah, they need.
That's a team who needs it.
Any league, we got to get to that because he went in about Mr. Ball. Created a company. Not to stop the show going, but he said, "Come on." But seriously, I mean, he must like Kaepernick. Is that what it is?
I mean, he likes LeVar.
My whole thing
is
Kaepernick. This.
He likes them all. He likes all the guys.
Like I said, man.
Whoever we bring up tonight, he's gonna like.
If I freaking was the media relations guy for the Chicago Bears, right?
Correct.
If you go to freaking, where's the college that they turned it? Oh, the Bears
Bourbon
turned us down. But the Bears turned us down for a credential. But, we respect the Bulls. Thanks,
we
Bulls.
do. Thanks, Bulls.
Yeah, sooner or later the Bears are going to have us.
You're both bad.
Freaking
Thank you.
shirt. You should give us a fucking, what the fuck do you call it? Credential.
Oh, credential. You're both bad, but thank you.
You're a great team, and you don't need coverage, but you tell us no. But anyway, and our freaking founder played in a goddamn Super Bowl. What the fuck is that shit?
Number 3.
He returned the opening kickoff in the fucking Super Bowl, bro.
Do my Raiders make the playoffs? That's going to be a long shot.
But he has to get to his Kaepernick. I've stated mine numerous
We do.
times. But what did you talk about today on Facebook that made you so pissed?
So, the thing that upsets me is this. And so today I saw a tweet from Britt McHenry, who's on Fox.
Yeah.
And the tweet was along the lines of how, J.J. Watt raised $37 million for Houston.
Okay.
He didn't get Citizen of the Year, blah, blah, blah. Now, it was a good point, but it wasn't...
Nor did he even brag about, say anything.
Right, but it wasn't my whole... That wasn't the point of it. The point of it to me was that that's just one of many guys who I think could be a Citizen of the Year over this guy. And see, the thing with Citizen of the Year is it's so focused on athletes, and it takes away from like the extreme real heroes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like we got this guy and he kneeled, right? And he kneeled because he thought it was he did it for equality, was it?
Yeah.
He kneeled for equality, but then everybody else started kneeling, but they didn't. This is my biggest problem, and I'll say it time and time again. These guys, half of them don't even know what they're kneeling for anymore. It's not even about equality anymore.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's about what's.
It's an act of it's defiant, is what it is.
Yeah, totally.
It's people being defiant, and when they start getting defiant, and this has nothing to do with race.
No. Whatever.
0. Everybody who's doing this, in one way or another, is doing it for their own reason at this point.
Totally.
And that's what I don't like, because it's a defiant act that it is against the NFL. It's a defiant act against the NFL and against those who do like... If you want to stand for the flag, that's our country. That's what I stand for. If you don't, that's fine, but you don't have to do this. defiant act and speak about it, and just it's out of hand now. We are continuing to talk about a guy who is not even employed in the league.
Yeah, continuously to this day.
He's not employed in the league. There's no reason to talk about
And
him.
it's not about his play anymore. Everybody asks, does he suck? No, he doesn't suck.
No.
He went to the damn Super Bowl.
No, he doesn't
But
suck.
you have to realize the NFL is a freaking machine. And they don't want they want the focus to be on winning. Not, oh, who's going to toss a collar today? Could you imagine the media coverage when this dude comes out of the freaking locker room of the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars, who get no coverage at all?
Right, and now they're getting coverage in a positive way, and they're going to put this guy at second string?
Come on, bro. That doesn't even make sense. That's why.
They're going to bring on 30 media guys to look to for 3/4 of the game. They're going to put the camera on this moron with a mushroom top sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to watch.
And no one's paying attention to the actual game.
Or the success of the team, or the guys who are playing their asses off.
Yeah.
Who start and who play so hard. We're going to focus on this guy.
Yeah. Like you said, it's nothing about race.
Zero.
It's about if he hasn't even come out since and said, you know what, this was the reasoning. If you're gonna do it, this is the reason that I did it. If you're doing it based upon that, because he's the one that started it,
right?
Then at least respect, America, and say something. So it's not like, oh, it is what it is. Look what I did.
And then it becomes such a ginger topic because people do make it about race, where everyone has to gingerly tiptoe on this whole thing. Like that comment the Houston Texans owner made, that is not a racist comment.
That. Oh my God.
That is, it's a saying that was used that everyone has
used that at one point or another. I don't care what you say. You can make a comment right now if you didn't, but I guarantee you made something near that where you said we're not going to let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah, right.
That's not a racist comment.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Is
that it? Oh, you're racist against Indians. You don't like Indians.
Right.
Oh, inmates. Oh, so you're saying come on, man. Stop. Stop.
I know. Owners own and players play, period.
I mean, that's the end of the day. So, we had, and I don't want to ignore comments because you guys are the reason that we're on. So, correct. Jeremy Bird says about Ball, going back to it, he says, very simple. He created a company. He knows how to market him and his sons. Also, Zoe will be just fine. He isn't a point guard who will average 30 points. He some nights will score most, and he will give it, the rest will give it to rebounds and assists. He started a company. Yes, you can put money into anything and say this big baller brand, blah, blah, blah. His shoes are $500. No one's buying those shoes. They look like shit.
And they say BBB on them, opposed to, that one swoosh that's been around for quite some time.
He started his company. We're not hating on dude. Dude's just an avid idiot, man. I feel sorry for his kids because honestly,
I mean,
they're putting Alonzo under a microscope based upon what his dad. They want to see him fail. Some people want to see him fail.
There's other players that for sure.
Yeah,
you better believe they're locking down extra tight when he comes into town.
So look what his dad did, and now he's on a freaking stage. He's not in Milwaukee. He's in freaking L.A. Yeah. Magic is running it.
Exactly.
Magic even made this fucking guy like. That's not something you do. The kid's not, is he even 20 yet? Like, you're putting all this pressure on the kid.
I don't think so.
1 year out of UCLA.
Right.
Like, let him play ball, man.
Exactly.
I mean, I want to go to the game and ask him. By the time they get here, it'll be like mid-season. I want to be like, he'll probably answer some corny fucking answer. I want to know, like, do you wish your dad didn't do what he did? Do you feel like it's, come on. You feel like it's affecting your play?
That's a big Laker fan right there.
Really?
Big Laker fan.
That's the one you were talking about?
He says it's early, but he's not impressing me.
Yeah. All right, so he just turned 20 last week. My whole thing is Jeremy is, he did the business thing, And don't get me wrong, that motherfucker is a huge... He's a great promoter. He's like a dude like Don King used to do, how Floyd Mayweather was, where he is so annoying that either you're going to love him or you're going to freaking wish he freaking fails.
Correct.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like what he's doing isn't great promotion for his... But he has to think about what it's doing to his son, you know?
The Lakers will not be good until they get Ingram out of there. He's garbage.
Although they're beating Philly right now.
Right. Also, the other thing that I can't stand about this whole thing, this goes back to too much media on a non-influential player.
Yeah.
The best player on the team right now, with the most upside, I should say, is by far the other rookie that was drafted. Kuzma's by far better. Mm-hmm. And he's on TV when he plays in the game.
Totally.
And never other than that.
And that's...
They put this bum on. They put this bum on all the time.
Yeah, I got it right here. We'll go to it. I love when you say bum because...
He's a bum,
you say it's so freaking...
I know, I say it with emphasis.
Yeah.
See what my guy Solomon said here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it now. It'll come up, but...
We'll get back to you.
I think we might have to go an hour on this one. But
yeah, I think so.
You smelling that?
I'm smelling an hour.
Smell what
we might have to extend this one.
This is you guys
to an hour tonight because you guys are interactive, and that is what I love.
Yeah,
that is what we love.
Hi, Brian. I see you. So the main thing is to make sure that I get over the fact that I am not hating on what's up, B.
What's up,
hating
Brian?
on what he's doing because he is doing what he's supposed to do as a dad, but he has to understand that some of what he says is affecting his kid.
100%.
We're talking about NBA players that are seasoned. Someone like Patrick Beverly, who's from the heart of Chicago in the inner city.
A grinder. He's looking to take you out.
Looking to demolish, to get you, man. So he's going to do his best to say, who the fuck is this guy coming out opening night?
Exactly.
Like he's going to give it to me. Come on, man. Are you serious? Now, we saw a large comment. There it is right here from Solomon McKinney. It says, he kneeled because the weak-ass system. It's unjust. Why should he stand for the flag? We totally agree with you.
We're not saying he shouldn't.
Yeah.
We're not saying what we're saying.
No, we agree with. We know why, and we agree with why he did it. It's just what it's going to do to the detriment of a team, right?
Right, and the thing is I've said this before, and this is why I like what the Cowboys do. Mm-hmm. They kneel and they do their shit. Then when the flag comes out, they stand. Mm-hmm. It shows that they kneel for social injustice, but stand for America, which is the National Football League, which is where you play in America. All 32 teams, you know where they're from? America. So you respect that shit.
People outside of America pay the NFL to bring these American teams to them every year. These guys
play a morning jet lag game.
Which we'll get to in the next episode.
Morning jet lag game for other people in other countries.
Yes. So yes, we totally agree with what you're saying in reference to that. But what you have to understand is put your feet in the shoes of an NFL owner, an NFL head coach, an NFL player that has to be a teammate.
Right. Answering
questions. It's just like playing with LeBron, bro. You're answering question after question about this guy.
Right.
Bro, I'd rather just focus on my freaking art and do what I got to do on the field or on the court. That's what we want to do as a team. So, speaking of LeBron, let's get to this recent stuff that he's had with the New York team in general, the city. So, oh God, hold on before we get to LeBron. I think he's messing with you. See that? I'll read it. NBA, and I can talk to you about the NBA all day. Don't mean to change the subject, but don't you? But you're not seeing Ingram as the next KD. because me bleeding purple and yellow, I don't see anything great coming out of him.
Well, I'm glad you
Yeah,
restructured your
because
statement.
at first it looked like you were saying that he's the next KD, and
we caught the glimpse of it on the small part.
Yeah,
He's not good.
I hate looking at him.
He's not good, and I could tell you one thing
arrogant.
for sure is that his work ethic is shit because he comes out with the same broke ass jump shot every single year thus far.
Yes.
Every single year. It has not gotten better once. You see Giannis, his was horrible. Now, it's not that great, but it's way better. Yeah. And it's allowing him to do other things off the dribble. Mm-hmm. This guy does nothing. He can't get to the lane at 6'10", 11, whatever, with speed, with ball hand. He has nothing.
I hate him.
He's not good.
I hope he sees this. I hate him. So
Grant Hill.
Yeah, that's true.
I do like that.
We gotta give it to freaking Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
We can't forget about Kyrie. Brother. Come on, Jeremy.
Kyrie
Irving. I know he's one and done. You're probably saying like that actually played. And
he's
Kyrie
balling right now. Balling.
But if you're talking about schools, you gotta go Kyrie.
Right. Let's get into this LeBron Cantor type debacle.
So break it down.
So we got LeBron takes a pregame vocal shot.
Like a little. But he said he wasn't trying to jab.
But he was.
You could. It was subtle as fuck.
Because you don't bring up some,
No, it was random as hell.
Right.
But it was subtle too.
Like, Knicks, you guys dropped the ball. You should have grabbed so and so, but you didn't.
Yeah. So basically, what he said was that who's the guy, Junior? I forget his name. Plays for Dallas.
Yeah, right.
Dallas is a rookie. I guess he trains with LeBron. He's a junior.
And he's solid right now.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Whoever knows his name, feel free to throw it in there. But LeBron said that New York messed up and didn't draft him.
Right.
So
he took a shot at the rookie before playing him.
He's the same position. So I can't even tell you the guy's name. There it is, Dennis Smith Jr. Thanks, Sammy.
Dennis Smith Jr. is on Mavs. The other guy
that's LeBron's guy.
I can't pronounce his last name.
Frank. If you guys know the New York Knicks guy, Frank is Bazinga. He's French. Yeah, that guy.
Right.
So
we'll try our best to say it.
LeBron said, they skipped and messed up with that freaking guy, not drafting that guy.
Right.
So obviously, New York took offense because they have to freaking defend their player, and then Enes Kanter.
The kid gave LeBron a little
that was after, but Enes Kanter said something prior to the game like, I got to defend my team. That's my family. Regardless, my family. And
right.
If I'm on the team, whether it's here or there, even though the team that you called your family traded the shit out of you for Carmelo.
Right.
But it's your team and your family, so you had to do that.
Right.
So obviously there was some heat going into the game. LeBron was like, man, I'm not going at them. I'm just telling them that they missed out on Dennis Smith Jr. So long story short, what happens in the game?
He throws a little, gives LeBron one of these.
LeBron just got a dunk.
Very un-rookie-like move, unless you want to get slammed on later.
The ball rolled out after LeBron dunked on them. Mm-hmm. After they made an historic comeback, by the way. No one's talking about that.
14 points.
Yeah. So basically, the guy picks up the ball, nudges LeBron, and then what?
And then Cantor comes in with the, he's playing father figure.
Yeah.
And he comes in hard. And then, they exchange words. And then the post game gets fantastic. I love it.
And lo and behold, from the post game, that the Knicks were up 23 and Cleveland comes back and wins.
Right.
What happens in the post game? LeBron, what happened with blah, blah, blah?
Right. He says, I don't care if you're the king or blah, blah, blah. And then LeBron says, listen, I'm the king, my wife's the queen.
And my daughter's the queen.
And my daughter's the princess. So we got it all. We got them all covered.
Yeah.
Then, I'm not even talking about that guy's name, he says.
Yeah. And then he goes on to his
That's
bus,
a bum. That's a bum shout out.
He goes on his Mercedes Sprinter and posts, I'm the king of New York.
I'm the king of New York.
With
You're welcome.
Picture. Yeah, he said you're welcome too. Listen, man. And then another
You're
thing,
welcome. I stepped foot in the garden. I'm the king of your city, and that's about it.
And another thing you didn't post that a lot
Very
of people don't know because he doesn't boast about it is LeBron donated how much to inner city schools?
43 mil. And we're talking about Citizen of the Year, Colin, and then everyone's response is he donated $1 million to public schools.
40. We're talking 40.
Wait, did he?
$43 million is a lot of money, man. And then he didn't even talk about it. He didn't even post nothing. He's just like, man, I don't do this for that.
Right.
You know, I don't do it for the media coverage.
Right.
It's good that he could help, but to talk about someone that did $1 million, we're talking about millions here, but 43, but come on.
Yeah.
That guy does a lot for his city as well as kids. So
Correct.
the whole thing is, you know, with LeBron, there's always going to be people that come dead at you when you're freaking the best in the league. And right now,
Exactly.
regardless of who you think, LeBron's the best in the league. If you have any other person to say that he isn't, please feel free to post. But right now they're having a tough time. But we're talking about the regular season in NBA. It's
Right.
monotonous. You go to games, you understand it.
We're talking about the casualty of running up and down the court.
82 times a year.
Right.
And that's what the NBA is. It's a monotonous, consistent, like, perfect example. We went to the Bulls game. They played,
Friday?
yeah.
Indiana.
They played Indiana. And what did they have to do right after that? It's 9:30. They do their interviews. They had to head to O'Hare
And fly out to San Antonio.
for a game the next night. We don't feel sorry for them. I mean, they're getting paid for it, but it's a monotonous, nonstop.
You live out of a bag.
Yeah, you live out of a bag and a nice.
And on the go.
Yeah, so
And I don't feel bad.
those types of things are what keeps everybody going because a guy like Enes Kanter could be the great little villain to LeBron's. You know they're going to go to Cleveland. They're going to boo the freaking people out of the damn building. You know what I mean?
It's without
Every
question.
freaking time. So we got about 10 minutes left on the podcast because that's obviously the most important. So last week, actually Saturday, we finally got to the topic about women reporters in the NBA locker rooms.
Right.
At that point in time, you probably saw it, but you weren't really paying attention because you were really trying to do your shit.
Right.
You didn't see the aspect of
Right. The fact that we
magnitude.
talked about it
Yeah.
last, previously on our show,
Yeah.
I really took it all in this time.
Yeah.
So, Friday night, I went to my first game of this season.
Yeah.
So, you go to the game, and then after we go in the press room, and there's a lot of women in there, reporters and stuff, and then, you make your way into the...
Because we're standing outside of we go to Fred.
Right.
Fred Hoiberg. Freddie. Fast Freddie. We got our names for the Bulls.
Fast
We're going
Freddy.
to look, first of all...
Thank you.
This year, well, somebody says something.
What's up?
Somebody says something. You
No.
said thank you. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's how he does
Yeah,
it. He talks
he
real
does
fast.
that.
Thank you. And he runs away.
This time, he didn't have any press. There's no cameras. It was just us and, like, the local media. The Bulls are bad this year.
A lot
I'll
of
tell you.
couple
Steak 48.
NBC guys.
Yeah, just a couple. Steak 48. So, with that being said, you go to Fast Freddie. As soon as the game over, he'll come out about 10 minutes. We're just giving you guys a walkthrough of what we go through. Go to the game. He'll come right after the game, about 10 minutes. They have a very good beverage selection in the cafeteria.
They got those big Coke machines
Yeah,
with
where
about
you
100
pick.
drinks.
Yeah. That.
And then a lot of food. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Good little spread. Talk to Fred. He'll last about 5 minutes, and then he'll say, "Okay, bye. Get up." Then you go out, and then if you want to see the opposing teams,
The visitor
coach,
locker room's right there.
I got Popovich outside. You get him outside of the locker room. They're usually right before Freddie.
Right.
So, long story short, right after Freddie, you go to the Bulls locker room, and then you're either waiting right out or the locker room's open.
Right.
Because they have to let you in. There's a guy outside of every locker room when you go there. beautiful hallway. They changed the whole decor.
Beautiful,
So,
beautiful.
They have to get the signal to let us in. So they let us in, and then what happens? I guess you can go from there.
So, like I said, we've done this many times now. All last season I did this, and it was my first year. But Friday was my first night of this season. So we get in there, and because we previously talked about it, I kind of kept a closer eye on it than usual. Now, I've noticed there have been women reporters in the locker room before, but it's unbelievable that a player will walk out of the shower completely in the nude. And the girl will be like this.
Like right there.
I mean 4 feet away. Maybe 3, maybe 2.
They're right. They're right in
They
the stuff
are
you see on
right
TV.
There. Now, it's an uncomfortable situation when I'm standing next to another woman reporter next to a naked basketball player. It is just unbelievable.
First of all, it's awkward for us. So how fucking is it for a lady, sorry.
They all do the same move, the phone move.
Yeah. They act like they don't see it.
They put their heads in the phone.
The whole thing is, dude, we're not being chauvinistic at all. But, and I would love for someone to comment if they don't understand what we're trying to say. But when you go into a locker room, these dudes are butt ass. Why is that fair?
It's not.
For a
it's
woman
crazy
to go in, but at the end of the day, we can't go into a fucking WNBA locker room. If you can explain that, I'll listen. Otherwise,
and we're not saying we want to go in and see that.
No, we don't.
We just don't understand.
We feel like
unbelievable.
There's a double standard somewhat of how it's cool. Like, it's just like, oh, okay.
Oh, he's naked.
He's his ass is bent over in front of us.
He's reaching in his locker,
phone.
butt naked.
Yeah, they use, for some reason, I can't even throw it out. They use one player's deodorant. I don't know. These dudes are.
It is the weird.
Lotion.
They throw it around. It's like there's.
I don't know if his lotion is just a thicker version and it seeps into just one dude. And I'm not saying his name. Has the lotion for the entire time. I don't understand this shit. You're millionaires. You're using a fucking.
I'll give you one clue. He's got the Louis checkered, bluish gray, black.
Yeah, that. But
he's always going in there. He unzips it about 35 times. He throws it. They throw it back.
So
he zips it up.
Okay, here you
then
go.
he unzips it, grabs it up. He throws it back.
Totally. So
it's just that, and then that one hair thing.
Oh yeah.
They throw that thing around too, the twist tie.
It's like a high school locker room, but the women are right standing there just looking at they try to keep their eyes like up.
Yeah, the one where like they hold the phone is because it's recording, so they stare at the ceiling or they just stare straight down in the phone.
Yeah. By all means, they should be able to get their job, but that goes back to what I was saying about Cam Newton, how he did something that every other dude will do. But he got in trouble by saying, "Oh, it's weird hearing women talking about routes." To me,
running routes,
it's weird.
But she could stand in there after the post game when he gets out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
She could stand in there while he puts his top hat on naked.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't say you can't talk about routes.
No,
don't talk about routes.
How dare him?
How dare she knows about the slant route?
It's bullshit. This whole situation is the double standard of, like, I'm not saying women shouldn't have the opportunity, and I shouldn't have to keep saying that because I've said it, but
there should be some rules and stipulations to
rules and regulations, even for
before
us.
We let anybody in there. We feel the same way about ourselves. The players need to be out of the shower or wrapped completely in a towel, dressed, for you guys to enter the locker room.
Totally.
Because I got to be honest, I don't want to see these guys' asses either.
No, I don't.
Or anything else.
I don't want to see their dongs just,
right.
chilling. I'm looking up, but still, like, dude. And then they should have the privacy, And they got to get on a plane. It's freaking. They just got their ass kicked by the Indiana Pacers. The last thing they should have to worry about is that. But you know, that's the end of the day of what everything goes with. So we're glad we went a little over this week. We appreciate you guys talking. We're gonna start promoting ourselves right now. You got some stuff you want to let everybody know about?
Yes, we are very excited to announce, along with, we do this Facebook Live for you guys. We also do the podcast for you guys, but the podcast is, that's our main focal point right now. But I would like to let everyone know that we will be on a Chicago network.
Yes.
Do we know our airtime yet?
We don't know our airtime, but we will be on Channel 19 on any
Comcast Chicago network.
Xfinity network. So if you have Comcast or Xfinity in the Chicago metropolitan area, you'll see us. We're gonna have our air dates coming up, and then I think we'll start in December.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do though is we're gonna go. What we're gonna do. I'm sorry. Oh God. What we're gonna do is we got some very good viewing pleasures. Oh my God, we got a crowd too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna post our air dates, but we're going back to first episode. So it's gonna be like we're gonna be simulcast, right?
Right.
Like promoting.
It's going to be the first few are going to be promoted, so to say. You're going to be able to see us on there. It's probably going to be some shows we've previously recorded.
Yeah.
And then the new ones, we're just going to start popping them on there for season 3 and things like that.
Totally. So at the end of the day,
we're really excited about it.
We want everyone that hasn't seen, the shows, and you can see how freaking nervous we were when we first started compared to now.
We feel we're pretty comfortable now with the whole situation. Yeah. In both, for myself, I know you've been doing this for a long time, but the whole locker room thing's becoming more natural, and this is we apologize.
Amazing, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're excited. We're really excited, and we expect a lot of you guys to be watching us on TV as well from now on. So,
Jesus.
But that's going to conclude it for us because, I mean, we got some guys here.
Really showing us some great watching. And then obviously download the podcast on Spreaker.
Yes. If you have an Android, and then
iTunes. The little podcast.
Just search up ECSports.
Yeah. And we're going to be on every Wednesday now. We don't want to shove us down your throat. We want you to anticipate. The next Wednesday. So we'll see you next Wednesday. For Anthony, I'm Dion. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.